AI is like a gold rush. I'm not here to sell you AI technology. I'm here to solve business problems. Some of the customers, when we talked to, they were surprised at that. How come you're not telling me what is new in AI? You're trying to tell me, asking me about my business. And my answer was, really, it's all about your business growing. It's not about AI growing.
Who is Avi and why AI and why now?
Yeah, I know. The question is, what do I do and why I do this? Really, I've been a kind of a technology fan right from the beginning. I mean, just starting before high school, making remote controls, transmitters, and such. So, I mean, I've been just love technology, has always loved technology. And it started with technical education. And after that, worked in very technical field, working for Intel, Motorola, and others, doing microprocessor design. And even though when I came to US, I came to US to actually study AI. I wanted to study AI, and I tried to get into some of the, the major schools, the famous names, MIT, Cambridge, Oxford, CMU, who were doing work in AI those days. And I'm talking about late 80s, right? And turned out, first, I just could not make it to any of those schools, which I managed to correct by actually ending up at University of Texas at Austin, which was really still a good choice. I transferred there after a year, but also realized that if I wanted to do higher studies in this area, there was really not much money available for research because AI had been trying, AI research had not gotten very far. There was neural networks, machine learning, and these basic concepts which we kind of talk about now as successful, they were there, but AI had not produced something tangible yet. It was still very early. So I had to change my, direction. Ended up focusing on microprocessor architecture. Ended up working for Apple, projects with Apple, working for Motorola, and Intel. Eventually, when I left Intel, I was working on the low power stuff for phones, etc. But there I switched gears and got into marketing, working on kind of e-commerce and other stuff. So I kind of lost that AI thing or technology thing for a while. And in fact, my favorite saying was that, hey, I've moved over to the dark side of marketing, trying to sell stuff, trying to convince people to buy more, right? So I was doing that, but still we were a very technical focused marketing team even then. It was very technology focused. As we moved along, we as a business, in last few years, we became again much more technology focused by focusing on ads, etc., because they were getting technical and things were changing rapidly there. And then suddenly, like, around 3 years back, when AI came on the scene, that gave me this second lease of life. It was amazing. Once more, there was some new technology to figure out, and I felt, man, this is a place. This is a place I want to be. So I managed to get my team to run the business mainly while I started stepping out and starting emerging myself completely into learning AI and seeing how we can work on AI projects. And it has been amazing. It's been amazing. So we launched quite a few our own AI products, SaaS AI products, which we just took the existing products which we could add AI and enhance them, and mostly in the MarTech area, and did that. Then we started looking for clients and doing the work for clients, and fortunately, that has been working all right too. So starting from actually helping businesses to move on to AI to all the way to launch a completely AI business, that's what we've been focusing on. So that is me. I like to be hands-on when I work on anything, even though I'm a CEO of a company and we have employees who work on a lot of our code stuff and everything. But I like to keep my hands dirty in this. Have never understood this concept of work on your business versus work in your business. I work in my business and I plan to do that. So take that, all these business gurus who talk about this. I'm not changing that. We're doing fine. So, because I feel like I'm the technology driver for this company. I'm the one who figures out new stuff, and I want to keep it that way. That's what keeps me alive. So, and if you see me on social media, it's a very reluctant me actually on social media, because that's not my playground. I would be rather behind the scenes actually working on actual projects, with the team and solving business problems through technology. Uh, you know, so that's what I usually work on.
Okay, my next question is what is the real purpose of your social channels?
So the purpose of social channels is twofold. I kind of noticed that AI has AI is like a gold rush, right? And AI has suddenly gotten a lot of people talking about tools and the prompts and such. And I kind of noticed that when it comes, if you're a business leader, either a owner, founder, or executive level in any business, like learning those tools or those techniques and prompts is really not the answer. You need the business perspective, and not many people are going and talking about that. Instead, they give you the FOMO of getting you scared about AI and all. So I felt like, hey, there was a need a little bit to start talking to the people who really wanted to know what does it mean to their business. And even there, not talking about which AI company has taken over, which AI company, here's the news, what is the investment going on in AI. If you are a business, what are you going to do with that? Are you planning to set up a fab to manufacture um, AI chips? If you are, I'm sure you're not listening to influencer to do that. You know what you're doing in that situation. Are you planning to be an AI researcher? Then you're not listening to influencer either, right? So what do you want to know? So it is the business leader who wants to know what they should be thinking about at this stage with the AI, not about which model, but really what does this mean to them and what should be they looking out for. So I felt that was the area I want to talk about. So when I was talking to the customers, they'll come to me and say, oh, so and so told me they can do this for me and they can do this for me, can you do this? And my answer was, really, I'm not here to sell you AI technology, I'm here to solve business problems, right? So let's talk about your business. So I felt that was a little bit different approach, and some of the customers when we talked to, they were surprised at that. How come you're not telling me what is new in AI? You're trying to tell me, asking me about my business. And my answer was, really, it's all about your business growing. It's not about AI growing, right? And how we can make this business grow faster, cheaper, and what are the business problems we need to solve. So I felt that was what was needed, and very few influencers or very few people were talking about that. So that's what I want to talk about. And of course, I do recognize that by talking about just this, my audience is actually very narrow because I'm not giving you these quick tricks, and also it's not for everybody. So I am speaking to primarily business owners and business leaders and executives who want to see what they should be doing with AI, how should they strategically thinking about AI. So that's my audience.
So then we get this a lot of time. Why do you continue to use AI avatars for your videos rather than shooting the videos yourself?
Why do I use AI avatars for shooting a lot of my social media content? My question is, why not? So we are in the world of AI. Why would I not experiment with everything which is going on, right? So that's my first primary reason. I want to stay ahead there that what is possible with AI. It's not about fooling people with the AI avatar or anything. It's obvious. Anybody looking at carefully knows that it's AI avatar. My content is my own. It's kind of written by me. So you can tell when you listen to even the AI voice talking or AI digital twin of mine talking that this content is hand curated. I came up with it. So content is what matters more. The medium should not matter that much, right? Really, the message is what matters, right? Not the messenger. If that is true, then it shouldn't matter who's delivering the message, right? It's the message. So that's one reason. There is a secondary, more practical reason. Because I like to actually work on AI and work in AI, I really have very limited time to actually kind of sit in front of a camera and start creating content. So I realized is that I have to still answer my customers' questions and research and solve and come up with explanations for them and give them the strategy. So because I'm writing that content anyway and coming up with that content for my customers, what if I just took that and had let the AI digital twin here, in a short form, deliver it to rest of the audience who might be interested in this. So that's what I'm doing. So those are the primary two reasons. So this is real me. So there is a real me behind if you're worried about in the AI what's going on. Yeah, and I know my digital me looks a lot better than this with no ums and ahs. Of course, that's the other advantage, right? You get a better messenger, right? And the message is still the same. You get a better messenger delivering better to you. Just think like that. But I'm still there behind the scenes when I'm answering the questions, it's me, right? So you get the best of both worlds. Best possible messenger with the best of the message coming across.